This is The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa. Good morning, Tuscaloosa, Internet World, West Alabama. How are we doing today on a Friday? It's a football Friday right here on The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com. We're thankful that all of you are joining us on the BamaCentral YouTube channel. So excited to hang out with you on your favorite podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts. You can find the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral. We're ready for another edition of Football Friday, ready to break down some games, get involved, get excited about this week's Alabama-Missouri game. We're live with Mason Woods. We'll be joined by Katie Windham here shortly, but we're super excited to welcome a brand new sponsor to the program, Strength Roofing and Siding, sponsored by Zach Guffey and Strength Roofing and Siding. Zach Guffey representing Strength Roofing and Siding. If you, for all of your roofing needs, all of your siding needs in Central Alabama and Mississippi, you can call Strength Roofing and Siding at 205-858-9050. When severe weather strikes, your roof is your first line of defense. So make sure it's in good shape by calling Strength Roofing and Siding. I'm so excited to hang out with Zach. You guys might know Zach already from playing music all over town, but we want you to know him for your roof repairs. Good morning, Zach. I cannot wait to welcome you onto the show. I know you're excited about it. How we doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing great, Joe. Thanks for the opportunity to jump on board and talk ball. First of all, graduate University of Alabama. Love it, live it, breathe it. And just an opportunity to get on here and talk about it and promote what we got going on too with the roofing company. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. We are so thankful to have you, and we hope everybody calls Zach, because not only is he going to give you great service, but he's going to give it to you with a smile. Mason Woods, good morning. How you doing? How's your roof doing, Mason? I know over at your house, you need a new roof, my man. How you doing?
You know, as far as I know, it's looking good, but that is, I say as far as I know, and I know nothing, so it could be terrible. Who knows? Maybe I need to have them come check it out. But I'm doing great this morning. Very excited to get into a Football Friday. Got a absolutely stacked slate of games for this weekend that we're going to get to talk about.
Absolutely. Mason, you got to call them at 205-858-9050 to schedule your appointment today. Get your eyeballs on your roof and on your house. So make sure that Miss Melissa doesn't have any leaks into the bedroom. Call Zach Guffey today at Strength Roofing and Siding. So what do we want to start with? Katie Windham, I don't quite see your picture, but can we hear you? Can't quite hear her. I think she's going to struggle today with her internet, and that's okay. Katie Windham, we want to encourage you to download Crimson Flame. It's her newest podcast. She had a swimmer on this past week. Mason Woods, what's the longest time you've spent in a pool? This swimmer did an event 5.5 hours swimming back and forth. Unbelievable. What do you think? How long could you swim if you had to just max out your body?
Oh man, I'm going down quick. I'm a very you throw me in a pool, I can maybe get out, but I'm not treading water for super long.
Zach, I think I'd sink in 25 minutes.
Yeah, I was giving myself 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be very long. So make sure you download Crimson Flame. You can see it on the BamaCentral YouTube channel to check out Katie's conversation with former Alabama swimmer Kinsey McMahon is who that is. She's currently working with Adapted Athletics on campus at Alabama. Got a really unique story. Basically, she was banned from international competition and never was able to figure out why. They found PEDs in her sample that she never really was able to figure out how they got that. It's a tough game, those international sports. All right, Katie's restarting her computer, and that's no big deal. So let's jump right into it with Zach. Zach, you've been watching Alabama football all your life, as you mentioned earlier, Alabama grad. What do you think about this team so far? What do you think about Ty Simpson? What do you like about this team? What do you don't like about this team? Just to kind of set us up for Alabama's next SEC road trip.
Man, what I like is resilience and fighting back and establishing an identity. just kind of becoming the team we would hope they would be week one that weren't. But, having that foundation to kind of build ourselves back up and seeing that guys are making some good decisions and seems like they're buying in and doing things to put themselves in a position to perform well and grow and galvanize the team together. And I think everybody's kind of got a united front to join together and right the wrong. You know what I mean? So I'm enjoying it. I told people last year that I was more excited for the first year of Kalen DeBoer that I had been in several years, just for the unknown and kind of coming back and seeing what each team's going to be. You know what I mean? And so I think this year we've really had ourselves an opportunity to kind of ride the wave. So for lack of a better term, or no pun intended, right? So see who they are, see who they're going to be, watch them grow. And I really enjoy that because, that's my favorite part about college athletics is the development of the student athletes themselves.
Well, speaking of development of the student athletes, I think maybe the most developed student athlete on the roster might be our quarterback under center, Ty Simpson, sitting and waiting, redshirting behind Bryce Young, behind Jalen Milroe, learning to be a leader and learning how to really command a presence in the locker room. What are your thoughts on Ty Simpson? Are you ready to send him to New York?
No, not at all. I mean, but I like the kid. Seems like a great kid, great head on his shoulders, wants to do the right things, wants to put others in a position to win. I like him a lot. I'm totally behind him. I think he's got great character, and he's going to kind of be the spearhead to, kind of lead the team forward. So I'm really enjoying his development.
Absolutely. I think we all are. He's grown each and every week. Maybe a little mistake last week against Vanderbilt, but we'll see how he can, if he can overcome some of the early mistakes and not take as many sacks. Mason, yesterday we spent time with Joey Van Zimmern of Missouri Tigers on SI, and you guys can find that on all the platforms that we always mention, BamaCentral's YouTube channel in particularly. Man, what was your biggest takeaway with our time with Joey? It sounded like the Missouri Tigers are pretty confident. I know everybody's talking about, they haven't played anybody, but Joey didn't even bring up the lack of competition, really. It sounded majorly confident. What was your biggest takeaway or thought with our time with Joey Van Zimmern?
I think, I went into that conversation having a bit of maybe an inkling of this, but after talking with Joey, I think it was much more confirmed for me. If I am Missouri, I am concerned about how my secondary will hold up to Alabama's offense. To hear Joey talk about it, he was, it seemed like alert level 10, worried about how the secondary would be able to hold up. And, I'm right there with him. I don't know many secondaries in the country that can guard these receivers, let alone one that has struggled this season already. And then on top of that, another thing is I'm looking forward to see what Bo Prabula looks like against a higher level secondary himself. They've played, like you said, not the highest level of competition this year, and he's already had a little bit of an interception problem. So putting him out there against guys that will be in the NFL this time next year might be a tough scene for him.
Absolutely. Well, Zach, we've talked about the offense a little bit this whole week, and I think the defense gets the most attention from the Alabama faithful. How have you thought, what's been your perception of the Alabama defense? Up and down, but how have you thought the Alabama defense has performed this year under Kane Womack?
Getting better all the time, right? At the end of the day, we've got the guys. What I have liked is the continued effort and relentless pursuit that we're starting to see and expect out of these guys. Crank the engine, put it in fifth gear. Let's just go. Send them. It's going to be fine. You might slip up. You might miss. You might miss a, but 9 times out of 10, just wreak havoc. Just see ball, get ball, right? And obviously, one thing I want to see is I want the secondary to kind of step up and be who we thought they were. I think Keon Sabb is playing really well. There's a couple of people that I won't name names, but there's some improvement that could be had with some other secondary players. But I think Sabb's really stepping up, becoming a leader, and I'll enjoy seeing that. But man, see ball, get ball. It ain't coming from a 5'7" unathletic 42-year-old. It's not that hard. Just go out there and tackle some people. You know what I mean?
Well, I think you nailed it right there, because last week you did have a slip up with Cedric Alexander running 70 yards down the field. But outside of that and maybe a later Diego Pavia play, they were attacking Vanderbilt, and they shut down the running game in the last 3 quarters. So I totally concur with your assessment. Maybe there's a slip up here and there. Even in the Georgia game, you were getting after that running game a lot. It was a couple explosive plays that Georgia was able to get on you. I think this defense is really coming around. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I'll take that. With the effort, if there's going to be a mistake here or there, rather than seeing death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Well, absolutely. So let's keep it going here. Zach, I want to introduce you to our lead writer, Katie Windham. Katie Windham has joined us on the program. You can follow her at Katie Windham _ all on the Twitter machine, leading all of our coverage here at BamaCentral.com. And she's going to be right there in Memorial Stadium's press box at Faurot Field. Good morning, Katie. How we doing today?
Good morning. I'm good. I'd say there's like a 90% chance I freeze in a little bit, so we're just going to roll with it.
Absolutely, we are going to roll with it. Katie, I was enjoying your latest episode with Crimson Flame. You interviewed former Alabama swimmer Kinsey McMahon. Katie, how long can you swim? Kinsey going 5.5 hours in her USA Team USA event blew my mind today.
Consecutively, could I swim? Probably, maybe for like 5 minutes. I mean, I don't know. Like, especially if could just swim the way I wanted to and not freestyle. But yeah, she's a beast in the pool. And then she talked a little bit about those open water races. She would do like where you're literally swimming in the ocean and have the force of like it's not a controlled environment and you just swim for hours and hours. So yeah, she's got that stamina for sure.
That sounds absolutely brutal. So everybody make sure you go check out the Crimson Flame podcast wherever you get your podcast, and you can always watch the conversation right there on the Bama Central YouTube channel. Really love what you're doing right there with that pod. I know you have a huge episode. If you're not interested in swimming, okay, whatever, we understand, but you have a huge episode coming up this week, correct?
Yes, I'll have Ashley Johnston, the head gymnastics coach, on the show. So excited to get into that interview with her, kind of previewing this team and the schedule, which will be released, the full schedule next week. I think their home slate's already been released, and then kind of the rest of the schedule will come out next week.
Well, awesome. We can't wait to check out that conversation with Katie Windham and Ashley Johnson on the Crimson Flame podcast. Katie, I've been asking the guys about this team so far. Zach's kind of giving us his rundown of the first four or 5 weeks, just as he we introduce him to the show. You've been there all week, all year, and you've been with us all year as well. So let's just focus in on this past week's Vanderbilt game. What was your biggest takeaway from the Vanderbilt win, and kind of set us up here on the Missouri game, and we'll start talking about it.
Yeah, I think for this team, we've kind of seen the last 2 weeks really that they're making the plays when they need to make them. I think if a couple plays go a different way in both those games, that the opponent could have won. I think Georgia, obviously that game is a little bit closer, but I mean, that Vanderbilt game, you look at, they're up 7-0. You're driving to go up 14-0, and you're getting deja vu all over again from last year's game. And then you get that first red zone turnover that kind of changed the direction that it went. So I think people are stepping up when they need to. I wrote about the defense after the game. I think the adjustments they made are good. And I heard a little bit before I came on, Zach doing some good analysis for us here. He's coming for our jobs in the sports media, but talking about like some of these defenders that or the coaching staff, really, it's almost like talking to them after the game and then Kane on Monday. They're like, it's not really a systemic problem. It's a couple guys not doing what they're supposed to do on these busted plays. I think there was one play that Kane took credit for that he had, when you asked about the shovel play, that he had the guys maybe not in the right spot. But on some of those busted plays, they're like, look, we have guys in the right spot. We have the right scheme. They're just not doing the right thing. And so I think this week, obviously, is going to be a huge test, that run defense. That's kind of the biggest storyline that everyone's going to be talking about with Ahmad Hardy and just Mizzou's running game. But then it's tough because they maybe haven't faced the best opponents yet. But I think it'll be a good test for both teams to see, is Mizzou legit in their running game? And then does the Alabama defense really figure things out and are going to be able to slow things down on the ground? Because that's kind of been their kryptonite all year.
Well, it's going to be a lot of on tomorrow at 11 a.m. right there on ABC. You're going to be able to follow Bama Central's coverage. We're going to send Katie Windham, Will Miller, and Hunter DeCiver into enemy territory. Maybe a little lighter day for you guys, since we've got a visiting contingent with the Missouri Tigers on SI handling the home team. But make sure you follow us on the Bama Central YouTube channel. You'll be able to see the team maybe walking into the stadium, maybe walking off the field victorious or sad. Those will be good videos as well. So we hope you all join us on BamaCentral.com as Katie travels up to Missouri. Why don't we just get right into it? Zach, how we usually do this program is run keys to the game. Everybody gives their keys to the game. You're the guest. We'll allow you to go first. We'll go keys to the game. If you got 2 to 3 keys or maybe 1 master key, whatever you like, you can give that. And then we will go through. Each of us will give 3 players to watch. You can take 3 selections, and Katie will take 3. Mason 3, and I'll go with 3 myself. And then at the end, we'll pick the major slate of games, and we'll finish with our pick for the Alabama and Missouri game. So let's get right into it, Zach. What are your keys tomorrow as Alabama goes on the road for the 3rd time this year, the 2nd time in SEC play, trying to stay unbeaten in the SEC play against the Missouri Tigers?
Gotcha. Yeah, so just kind of piggybacking off what Katie said, and it's kind of generic to say, but dominating the trenches, contain, but also establish the run on our side. So contain their high-powered rushing attack, and then because we've had trouble here and there with consistent defense against the rush, but also establishing our run too is obviously the key to our passing game as well. So I think both sides of the line is always a key for me, kind of foundation where it starts, and then continued efficiency on offense. And, man, I heard you talk about it. I just want to shout out Ryan Grubb, the masterful play calling. Man, it's so much fun. I love that they got the band back together. I think they're a dynamic duo between DeBoer and Grubb. Me being so excited about him this year makes me kind of disappointed that last year happened the way it did. But nonetheless, all's well that ends well, and they're back together, and I'm enjoying watching it.
Absolutely. Zach's keys to the game, winning the line of scrimmage and being efficient on offense. I love that. I think that's very, very strong. Katie Windham, what are your keys to the game as Alabama goes to Missouri?
I think I'm going to steal one from the coaches and players that they've been talking about all week, and that's starting fast on the road. And that's both sides of the ball, on offense and defense. You want to score on your first offensive possession, you want to get a stop on your first defensive possession. I think especially with the 11 a.m. kick, you don't want to come out sleepwalking. I think we make a lot of that just because Alabama doesn't play a ton of 11 a.m. kicks, but they already have once this year, and they practice in the morning. Joe, you kind of asked some of the players about that this week, so it's not like they're not used to getting up early. I think it was a little different in the Saban era when they practiced in the afternoon. But so I think starting fast is something that the coaches have talked about a lot as being a key. So I think especially with this 11 a.m. game, that's important. And then I think I've talked about this every time I've been on the show before a road game, and then it hasn't necessarily panned out, but you do not want to have any special teams miscues on the road. It can just give huge momentum swings to the opposing crowd. And I think to just kind of tie with that, I guess my 3rd key would be being more efficient in plus territory, maybe more red zone efficiency. Technically they went, I think 5 of 5 last week, but that doesn't account for the interception. And then they had to settle for a lot of field goals, and your field goal range seems to be pretty limited this season. So you just want to get the ball in the end zone, especially on the road. You don't want to be attempting a lot of field goals in that stadium.
I love that as well. Katie Williams, start fast, no special teams blunders, and be more efficient in the red zone. I think that's very, very strong. Mason Woods, what kind of keys are jangling on your key ring?
Ooh, let's see. First off, and this is I'm looking at my notes here from previous Football Fridays, and this is one that has been persistent throughout the season, but it's win the turnover battle. And I think you have a really good opportunity to do that against Missouri, against a quarterback who has had a little bit of interception problems, especially the last 3 weeks. I think he's thrown 3 in the last 3 games. And Alabama has a strong secondary. So I think you got a good chance to maybe make some things happen from that department. And then, as well, maybe you get some chaos plays, you force a fumble here and there, make things happen. And secondly, I'm going to piggyback off of one of Zach's a little bit and continue on with stopping the run game. I don't believe that you stop Ahmad Hardy in this game, but I think you can maybe limit him a little bit. But I think what concerns me is if Bo Pribula beats you with his feet. I think you can't let the quarterback run beat you. If you get them into obvious passing downs, 3rd and longs, you have to get that into a 4th down. You can't let them convert those 3rd and longs. You have to keep stay gap sound and keep him in the pocket there. And let's see, 3rd, I'll go back to the offense. And I think it's just take shots against this weak secondary. I think I said that for Vanderbilt. I think I said it for Georgia as well. But it remains this week. Missouri has a weak secondary seemingly from what we've seen from them this year. And Alabama has from what we've seen this year, maybe the best receiving core in the country. So you're going to have opportunities in the passing game, and I want to see Ty push the ball downfield when those opportunities present themselves.
Yeah, I think y'all are hitting everything I've got, so maybe I'll have to be a little more creative here. I think that you're all right on this game. But to me, the biggest key to this game defensively, yes, it's the line of scrimmage, Zach. I think that's really, really strong. But yes, Zach Mason is stopping the quarterback runs, particularly in the scramble situations. If you're able to get them in third and long, you got to tackle well at the basic point of it. Like when you get a chance to take down Ahmad Hardy, you have to do it. You have to wrap up and run your feet and bring these guys to the ground. You can't do the old Saban defense. I'm going to dive with my head and try to hit stick somebody down. I think we talked about that on Thursday's program before Joey got on there. You've got to wrap up and run your feet. And I think Ahmad Hardy, he's got incredible balance to go along with his power. So you've got to negate that by getting after him, getting your hands on the guys, run your feet, no hit sticks on Saturday, and let the next guy rip the ball out. The first guy to the contact has to be running their feet and trying to get them to the ground, because Ahmad Hardy's so slippery and really so sturdy that if you're trying to rip the ball out, well, he's going to roll right off you and go for another 5, 10, 15 yards. And if you're just trying to hit stick, well, he's going to absorb your hit stick and keep going for rumble for another 5, 10 yards. I think it's tackling well. As soon as you are able to make contact, then you got to make it. I believe that Ahmad Hardy is number one in the SEC in rushing yards, but if you just took away all his rushing yards and only looked at the rushing yards after contact, he's still number one. So just look at rushing yards after contact, and he's the number one rusher in the SEC, even more than Fluff Bothwell from Mississippi State. And so to me, the biggest key defensively is when you can get your hands on these guys, take them down, run your feet, and take them down. Number 2 for me is getting these receivers involved as early as possible, even if it's not getting down the field. Because I think that go back to the Georgia game, you got Jeremy involved right off the bat in screen game, in motions. You're able to get the defender's eyes in so many different places because Jeremy was able to move across the line of scrimmage. And yeah, Ryan drops the ball on the first drive, but the movements and motions of the receivers affects the secondary in their pass coverage, and that's how you're going to get your Isaiah Horton open across the middle, your Josh Cuevas open underneath, and Ryan open deep. And so move these receivers early, get them involved in the game as early as possible, because I think you can get the run game going if you are threat. I mean, what did we see last week with Vanderbilt? They wouldn't load the box for anything. They were terrified. They wouldn't load the box, and therefore Jam Miller got to eat a little bit. The linemen were able to get to the second level in the run game. I mean, goodness, the linemen haven't been getting to the second level in the run game all year long. Well, last week they were able to. I think it's because of how dangerous these wide receivers are. And I mean, I don't really want to steal from Katie, but I think Katie is right on. You start fast, because if you're able to start fast, you put pressure on Bo Pribula. And as long as he's under pressure, I think you can, to Mason's point, win the turnover battle. But if you're not starting fast, if you're playing from behind and this great running game is wearing you down, eating clock, what does it do? It does exactly what Florida State was able to do: jump out to a lead and eat the game away. And Alabama's digging. I think it becomes very, very difficult if Alabama doesn't start very fast. So I guess I will steal from Katie Windham and say that's my number 3 key to the game. I think we may lose Katie. She's going to be out for the rest of the day, and that's okay. She's struggling with her internet, so that just means I don't have to be as creative with our 3 players to watch. Right there. Before we get to 3 players to watch, I do want to thank Zach again. I want to thank Zach again for joining the program and tell you guys about Strength Roofing and Siding. When severe weather strikes your roof, when severe weather strikes, your roof is your home's first line of defense. Storms with high winds, heavy rain, and hail can cause serious damage that isn't always visible from the ground. At Strength Roofing and Siding, we specialize in storm and hail damage, roof repair, and restoration across central Alabama and Mississippi, providing fast inspections, expert repairs, and insurance claim support to help you recover quickly and protect your home. A professional assessment from a trusted roofer is essential. With over 45 years serving Alabama and Mississippi, Strength Roofing provides expert storm damage, roof repair, and replacement. Call them right now for your free no-risk replacement at 205-858-9050. That's 205-858-9050. And Zach, before you tell us your 3 players to watch, why don't you tell us about Strength Roofing, Roofing and Repair, Strength Roofing and Siding. Tell us what you do, how long you've been with the company, and how soon can you get out to my house and give me an inspection?
10-4, appreciate it, Joe. Yeah, so Strength Roofing and Siding was founded in 1979 in Jackson, Mississippi, right? So 46 years this year of family-operated business. And then we saw a need. Some friends and family thought that Tuscaloosa was a great market to get into. And so Strength set out to establish an office over here. And luckily, I was picked to lead that front for the Tuscaloosa. I've got almost 10 years of experience in roofing. So it seemed like a natural fit to kind of take on this task and try to move the ball forward, so to speak. But no, looking forward to the opportunity to serving the area, bringing something to the Tuscaloosa area, anywhere really in the state of Alabama that's a need can be serviced, as well as Mississippi, of course. But no, just looking forward to helping folks get through something that they may not understand completely with honesty, transparency, and just somebody they can trust, help them through the process of replacing a roof, whether it's storm related or dealing with aging deterioration. Just want to, operate, each customer like if it was my mom's house I was replacing, right? So just kind of want to help them through that process, but look forward to it. Look forward to the opportunity of meeting folks and just getting our name out there. That's what this whole opportunity endeavor is all about. Just getting our name out there that we're available for the Tuscaloosa, Birmingham market, as well as any of your viewers in Mississippi.
If you've been thinking about it, call them at 205-858-9050. You can get Zach and his colleagues out to your roof to check it out. Zach, what's the process, man? Once I call you, y'all come out, you say, man, your roof is not in great shape, or we can do X. What's the process at Strength Roofing and Siding?
Exactly. We come out, give you an honest assessment. We actually get up on the roof. We record a video with the GoPro to show you our point of view, to kind of explain to you what's going on, what needs to be addressed. Even if your roof's in a healthy shape, we have no problem saying, hey, you're good to go. There's no problems here. We like to help our referral partners, like our real estate agents, our insurance agents, anybody of that nature that needs a house assessed, especially in like a real estate transaction. They may need something looked at. But no, just give an honest assessment on if it needs a replacement, if it needs a repair, or if you're in good health. Generally, you asked earlier, when can you come out? I like to say I'm at your house within 24 to 48 hours. And I'm checking it. I'm checking it out and taking the video, giving an assessment, looking inside your attic, looking on top of your roof, letting you know what I see, what's going on, and kind of what the next steps would be, whether it be to replace the whole thing or you got another 5 to 10 years. So that's kind of the process.
That's awesome. So I'm living in my second home that I've owned. How would I know? Besides, Mason just said I wouldn't know how would I know if my roof even needs to be repaired?
Well, most of the time it's out of sight, out of mind, right? And especially if it comes for a dangerous thing like getting on a roof. For most homeowners, probably shouldn't be doing it. Most people wouldn't know that, hey, I have a problem till you have a problem. You actually have water intrusion happening inside your home. But also you don't want it to get to that point. So having it looked at, even if there's not an issue, there's no problem. And there's no real consequence. There's no real issue with doing it, obviously, with a free inspection. So we're glad to look at anything at any time, whether you think there's damage or you just, hey, I want to know what's going on. I want to know how much time I've got left. We're here for that too.
Call Zach Guffey today at 205-858-9050. They're going to get out to your home, give you that peace of mind. You make sure that your roof is in good shape. I mean, peace of mind is priceless, really. You can go to sleep easy knowing that your roof is in good shape. And if it's not, Strength Roofing and Siding can take care of you. So call them today at 205-858-9050.
What's up, guys? It's Dax. Happy Football Friday. It is Missouri time, 11 a.m. game. I do not think we're going to be sleeping. I think we're really going to get up for this one. DeVore is super good against ranked teams. He's going to be wearing the black hoodie of death. In Eli Drinkowitz's terms, I love that. Black hoodie of death is great. Here's the thing about the schedule this year. DeVore 100% learned his lesson about not overlooking teams, like unranked opponents. But also, this schedule is so brutal that we don't have the option to overlook unranked opponents because there are no unranked opponents on our freaking schedule. It is nuts. Let's just hope we can get over this road bug. I mean, we beat Georgia is on the road, but we still have to play other teams on the road. We're not overlooking this one. I can promise you that. I really think the defense is going to be super confident after Vandy. I think we're gonna limit Ahmad Hardy to limit him to 120 rushing yards. That's just funny. I would love to see double digits, but I think Ahmad's gonna get about 120, a touchdown or two. But I hope we have to force Bo Pribula to beat us with his arm. That would be real nice. And our DBs really haven't been tested because nobody throws the ball against us. But from what I've seen, Vandy was able to dot their receivers up every once in a while. I think our offense is going to be smooth as butter as always because Ty Simpson's a goat and I love him, Mr. Theismann. So I think Ty's going to put another 300 on the board, 3 passing touchdowns. I think Jam's going to have another 100-yard game. I'm telling you, the Missouri strength of schedule is going to bite them in the butt this week. I think we're really going to be up for this one. I think it's going to be a little bit like last year, except they're actually going to score points. I'd say we get about 38 like we did last year, and I'll give Missouri 14. Bama 38, Missouri 14. That might be way too overconfident for this one, but you know what? My middle name is confidence. Roll Tide, boys. Love you.
So, Zach, let's get right into it. We usually do 3 players to watch, and you're the guest, just as we said. What are your 3 players? What 3 players do you think either have to have a big game or your favorite 3 players, or what 3 players will you have your eyes on this week as Alabama takes on the Missouri Tigers?
The first player I have my eye on is Connor Talty to make sure he stays on the sideline. And I'm sorry, I'm not like that. I'm not that kind of guy. Just the low-hanging fruit. It was too juicy of an opportunity to get a joke in. I fully support the kid, and I hope and expect him at some point in time that we're really going to need him. So apologies, Lord forgive me for that one. Secondly, a unit. I like to lump the young guys. Luster Brooks, my neighbor Kevin Riley, and somebody that I expect something from, maybe not this year, but I think Caleb Edwards is going to be a dog. Caleb Edwards he's huge. He looks like he's athletic. If the hands are there, I think he's going to be nasty. And then thirdly, how are we going to get Caden Proctor the ball?
Love that too.
Yeah. So that's my third player to watch. And honorable mention, player adjacent, looking for the black hoodie.
Yeah, you got to have the black hoodie. Absolutely.
Who cares what he's wearing? I mean, get over yourself.
I'm wearing my black hoodie today.
Yeah. Who cares what the head coach is wearing? I mean, goodness gracious. Yeah, be comfortable, coach ball. Let's have some fun.
Zach, this past week, talking about Caden Proctor, Wilkin Formby revealed that the most athletic thing he's seen Caden Proctor do, not dunk a basketball, not catch a screen pass against Georgia, not take a 3rd and 1 against Vanderbilt. It's eat a Chipotle bowl, triple meat in 40 seconds. Now, 40 seconds might be an exaggeration, but how fast are you consuming a Chipotle bowl? We're spending 7.5 minutes in the water swimming. Well, how fast can you consume a Chipotle bowl?
Surprisingly, to my aesthetic, it would be 3 days.
Are you a Chipotle fan? It's okay if you're not.
Oh, yeah, I love Chipotle.
Absolutely. We love all kinds of food on the program here, and I just thought that was well. We need to Mason. Theo texted me because you remember we were talking about the name of the cologne that I couldn't remember that we made it.
Mhm.
And he said, "Oh, you called it Protection by Proctor," and
That's correct. I remember it now. Yeah.
Well, now we need to change it. Instead of being called Protect, he needs to just be called Hot and Ready. I'm gonna spray a little Hot and Ready, crispy.
Pretty good. That's better than Protection for sure.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
there used to be like Eternity by Calvin Klein. We can do Versatility by Caden Proctor.
That's good.
Ooh, that's even better.
Yeah.
That's even better.
It'll be one of those bottles where, you look at it from one side and you can see the picture of him catching the screen pass in there, and you turn it around, maybe it's something else. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Mason Boys, who are your 3 players to watch as Alabama takes on Missouri at 11 a.m. on Saturday?
Man, I got to say, I really love the Caleb Edwards pick. I think that they have been trying to get him involved, and it's really only a matter of time before we see like one really big play from him, and he kind of bursts onto the scene a bit. But the guys I'm going to go with, I'm going to start on the defensive side of the ball, and this is probably an obvious choice, but I think it's one that needs to be made nonetheless. Bray Hubbard. I fully expect to see another Bray Hubbard interception this week. That's what I am looking. It's what I'll be looking for. I want to see him out there causing confusion for Bo Pribula, like you said, Joe. If Alabama can strike early and put Missouri in a bit of a hole, I think that might spell disaster for Pribula if he's trying to throw them back into the game. The next guy I'm going to go with, another guy from the secondary, is Dijon Lee. We've seen Dijon Lee get involved the last couple of weeks a little bit. We saw him get involved against Vanderbilt. You saw him out there laying the wood against Vanderbilt. I would like to see more of that this week against Missouri. I think you're going to need guys on the edge that will set the tone, guys that are not afraid to tackle when you have the run game that Missouri has. So you're going to need Dijon Lee in there laying the hit sticks and bringing his feet and wrapping up with those hit sticks. The third guy, I'll go to the offense, and I'm going to go with Jam Miller. Can Jam Miller go for 100 yards back-to-back, basically, is what I want to know in this game. Can he do it again? We talked about him, in the offseason, maybe not being quite the elite running back that Alabama has seen in years past, but he started to maybe look like that last week, and I want to see if he can continue rolling that way.
Oh, man, I love all of y'all's picks. Zach, I love the Caden Proctor pick, not only because of using his versatility, but you got some mean edge rushers in Zion Young and Damon Wilson for Missouri, and he's going to have to be on his game. I think that Caden Proctor, ever since the Georgia week, I think that him meeting the weight goal that he set for himself at 359, which is still big, still too big. But I think the confidence that he got for meeting his weight goal has really, really shown itself on the offensive line. Obviously catching the pass and obviously running the short yardage play, but blocking as left tackle. I think he's done an outstanding job in these first two SEC games, and I look to see that continue. So I think the Proctor pick is a great one. Mason, I love the Bray Hubbard pick, not only for being able to get an interception, hopefully get a pick off Bo Pribula, but tackling Ahmad Hardy, I think is really, really an important part of this week. Okay, so my three players. I'm going to start with James Smith. I'm starting with James Smith because he was a nasty dude after he got freed from suspension last week at Vanderbilt. And I think that, I'm hopeful that will continue this week. If he is able to, everybody was talking about the Missouri offensive line missing assignments. If he's able to take advantage of the Missouri offensive line missing assignments, rush Bo Pribula, get him moving quickly or make him throw a pass before he's ready, and then get into the backfield and slow down Ahmad Hardy before he can get going, before he can get a huge head of steam into the second and third levels of the defense. I think James Smith is hugely, hugely important this week. Second, I don't know, which guard do you want to go with? Do you want to go with William Sanders, Cam Dewberry, Geno Vandermark, or even Wilkin?
Wilkin Formby. Yeah, I want to see Wilkin play more guard.
Right. I think the two guards are hugely important this week because of you're trying to get after Josiah Trotter, Tristan Newsom on their in Missouri's second level. Josiah Trotter has been an absolute animal really. The son of Jeremiah Trotter. He has been just really, really good at blitzing through the line of scrimmage, at shooting gaps and getting into the backfield, slowing down other teams' running games. So I think the two guards, Cam, Gino Vandermark, and I guess we'll settle on Wilkin Formby as number 2, become very important to get to the second level, not let the opposing linebackers disrupt the running game for your boy Jam Miller. And shoot, you guys left me with the easiest pick. It's Ty Simpson. You left me with the lowest hanging fruit, so I'll pick it off the low vine. If Ty Simpson can play like he played at Georgia, then I think this team's going to be A-OK. And I really think that Alabama's going to be able to take it to a number that Missouri may not be able to get to if they do, as Katie said, and start fast. So I'll end up with James Smith. I'll end up with Wilkin Formby, whether he's playing tackle or guard, and I'll end up with Ty Simpson because I think those three guys, if they have big games, then Alabama's going to leave Faurot Field victorious. All right, guys. I guess we're at the the real meat portion of the program, and that's time to make our picks. We're going to start really. Where's my list right there? It was a huge list. When I was making this list, Mason, I was like, well, this is too many. But then it's like, which one do I eliminate? Which one do I get rid of?
There's so many good ones.
Right. So, Zach, we'll just do it trio style. You can give yours. Mason will follow, and I'll finish here. We'll start midday. Indiana is at Oregon. ESPN College Game Day heads to Autzen Stadium. The Indiana Hoosiers are a 7.5-point underdog. Do you give them any chance against the Ducks?
Yeah, no idea who Oregon is, right, given week to week. So I like Oregon to win the game, but Indiana against the spread.
There we go. Bam. Mason.
See, I'm basically the exact opposite. Give me Oregon by 40. I think Oregon is going to blow this Indiana team out. I like what we've seen from Dante Moore. I think he unlocked a little bit, kind of unlocked himself in that Penn State game on the road in a tough environment against a good team. I know Penn State lost to UCLA, but it's still a good Penn State team. And, I don't know what it is about Indiana. I just can't be convinced that they're really a good team until I actually see them do it.
Sure.
I'm kind of going to go with Mason right there. I think Indiana is going to hang around just a little. I think Fernando Mendoza is a good quarterback, but they're not going to be able to just keep up with Oregon's fast-paced offense. So it'll probably end up being 50, 40, 42, 28, 42, 38, 28, something in that range. I think Oregon's going to win kind of comfortably and cover that spread. I wish that Alabama weren't playing this Saturday so we could watch Red River. Everybody could get on the couch and watch Texas and Oklahoma. Oklahoma is playing Texas in Dallas. Oklahoma, a 1.5-point favorite. Zach, will John Mateer resurrect his Heisman campaign right here in the Red River Shootout?
Yeah, I went back and forth on this one. Is Texas offense as garbage as it appears? Mateer, give me Oklahoma.
I'm with him. I'm going to take Oklahoma, and I don't think it's going to be particularly close. I think this is maybe the first year under Brent Venables that Oklahoma actually has had a pretty legit defense. They've got some good guys on the defense that can definitely get after the quarterback, and Texas has a revolving door at offensive line. So I'm going to give me the Sooners. Yes, this is when John Mateer resumes his Heisman campaign.
I just got to thinking about it. The Oklahoma defense against the Alabama offense in a couple of weeks is going to be just pure electricity on my TV. I'm taking Texas just because I'm taking Texas, but my eyes and my brain says that Mason is going to be right. The Oklahoma defense is going to terrorize Arch Manning, destroy that offensive line. Probably going to win the game, but I am taking Texas because why not? I'm just taking Texas. Next up, Arkansas is at Tennessee. Arkansas, is this their first game without Sam Pittman now? Fired Sam Pittman. So Bobby Petrino taking the head chair. Does Bobby Petrino shock the Vols? Tennessee is an 11.5-point favorite, Zach.
Only if he rides to the game on a motorcycle. I'm taking the Vols.
Yeah, I think Tennessee wins this game. But I do think there's going to be a little bit of juice with Arkansas, and I probably take them to cover.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm taking Tennessee to win and cover. I do think the juice factor will be there for about a quarter. And then Tennessee's quality and Neyland Stadium will get going. I think Tennessee wins and covers. Florida, after a huge win last week, okay, we're shutting down the Fire Billy Napier talks, but they're going over to Kyle Field at Texas A&M. The Aggies are a 7.5-point favorite. The Aggies, have you looked at their schedule? The rest of their SEC schedule is not really that crazy. They could find themselves in Atlanta, but they've got to take care of the Florida Gators. Zach Guffey, how are we feeling about Florida at Texas A&M? Texas A&M, a 7.5-point favorite.
Florida hangover. Billy Napier resumes his "I'm out of here" campaign. So I've got A&M big.
I am right there with you. I would say the same thing about A&M that I said about Oregon. Give me A&M by 40.
Mike Elko is just rubbing his hands like, I cannot wait to get some of this team. I think Texas A&M absolutely makes it. Stays undefeated and puts Billy Napier back on the hot seat. Georgia is at Auburn. I revealed on the Thursday program, Zach, my Georgia fan family, my mom and dad, they're camping this weekend. That's how worried they are about this game. They may or may not even check in on the game. Georgia is a 3.5-point road favorite. You've got Auburn offensive linemen saying, our crowd is going to make the difference. Will Hugh Freeze get himself his first signature win as the Auburn Tigers head coach? They're a 3.5-point underdog.
Being so excited about your crowd as your biggest selling point, and $4 will get you a freeze with cheese. You know what I'm saying? Garbage. I mean, but really, what am I missing? Why is Georgia only favored by 3.5?
Just the road, just being on the road. The road's worth 3 points, right? So it should be 6, 7.
I mean, it should be, but it's still Georgia and Auburn, right? I mean, I don't know. They could crap in a swinging bucket like they usually do in these rivalry games, but give me Georgia big.
The last time on this show that we had one of these weird kind of questionable lines, I believe it was Iowa State and Cincinnati, and I rolled with the Bearcats despite knowing nothing about them, just simply because the line was a little weird. Yeah. I will not be applying that same strategy to this game. I will be going with Georgia. I think Georgia is going to beat Auburn handily on the road.
Yeah, Auburn's offense is not good.
It's bad, some would say.
Right, and I know Georgia's secondary is maybe a little question, and Cam Coleman's a dude, but like, is Cam Coleman enough to keep this game close? If I'm an Auburn fan, I'm done with Jackson Arnold. I'm ready to see Deuce Knight like today.
I was ready to see Deuce Knight week 1.
Right. So I'm taking Georgia as well. Just for you, Mom and Dad. All right, 2 more before we get to the Alabama game. Huge game in the Big Ten. Michigan, Justice Haynes, the Fighting Justice Haynes are going out to Southern California to take on Southern Cal. The Trojans are a 2.5-point favorite, Zach Guffey.
I'll admittedly not know a lot about the Trojan team. One of my biggest heartbreaks is losing Justice Haynes. I've gotten over that. Now I'll get back to supporting him. Michigan.
Hell to the victors for Zach. Mason.
I think this Michigan team is widely overrated. But I still think they're going to win this game because I don't think USC is a very good football team.
I don't think. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm with you. I think Michigan's probably overrated, but I don't know enough about USC to have confidence in them or anything.
Yeah, I think these are both overrated football teams.
Yeah.
And so I don't love it, but just so I'll go different, I'll take USC. I'll take USC to win and cover that 2.5. The last SEC game on our slate before we get to Alabama and Missouri, South Carolina is at LSU. South Carolina's next few weeks are absolutely disgusting, brutally challenging, Alabama being a part of that brutal challenge. Will South Carolina go into Death Valley and win? Didn't they beat LSU? It wasn't a wild game last year. LSU won. LSU came back and won. It was a wild game last year, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Let me see if I can get it pulled up here.
South Carolina 2024. It was
36-33 back and forth, looks like, yeah.
Yeah. South Carolina lost 36-33. LSU came back on him a bit. Will South Carolina get revenge, Zach? Are you going to be riding with the fighting Shane Beamers?
I like Shane Beamer a lot. Is South Carolina going to be the team we thought they could be? I don't, but also I don't want them to have a bunch of confidence leading into a game with us. Give me LSU for the win, South Carolina to make it interesting.
You said it's at LSU, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll take LSU to win this game. I don't particularly like either of these football teams. I think LSU's offense is just anemic, and I think South Carolina is a mentally weak football team. I don't really think they can overcome much adversity. So I don't love either of them, but yeah, I'll ride with LSU in probably a close, ugly game.
The adversity starts this week. Listen to these next 5 weeks for South Carolina. At number 11 LSU, versus number 6 Oklahoma, versus number 8 Alabama, at number 4 Ole Miss, and at number 5 Texas A&M. That sounds like hell to me. But I'll take them to lose. I'll take LSU's defense to play well and LSU to win a close game. So it's what is it? Tigers by 9.5. I do think South Carolina will cover that 9.5. All right, we're at the business end, the last pick, the most important pick. We've been joined by Zach Guffey of Strength Roofing and Siding. You can call Zach and his company at 205-858-9050. They'll come inspect your roof. They'll come make sure your home is prepared for any of life's storms. Call Strength Roofing and Siding at 205-9050. Zach Guffey, Alabama is at Missouri, 11 a.m. on ABC. You can follow all the coverage at BamaCentral.com. The Crimson Tide is a 4.5-point road favorite. Give us your final thoughts on how you're feeling and what you're picking for this game.
Living in a world where I see through crimson-colored glasses, give me Bama by 15.
I like it.
No, Bama big. Let's say 35-16. How about that?
I love it.
I like that. Yeah, I'm going to take Alabama, and I'm going to take Alabama to cover. I think Missouri's still a fine football team. I just think they're going to get exposed a little bit as maybe not being quite on that upper echelon of SEC teams.
Yeah, I'm gonna count on this team. I'm gonna count on this Alabama team to start fast. I think the first quarter might be a little hairy, much like this Vanderbilt game was, but start fast and finish well. I like Zach's score. I like that score. I'll go. I like 42. Seems like a nice number for Alabama, because I do think that the Alabama offensive line is going to hold up in the passing game, and they're going to be able to block these guys blitzing Ty Simpson, and Ty's just going to be back there picking them apart. So it's going to be a lot of big plays down the field for Alabama's offense. Enough running, but not overly running. Ahmad Hardy's still going to get his yards. Does Ahmad Hardy go over 100 yards? I don't think so. I think 88 stands out in my mind. 92, 85, 88, 92 kind of stands out in my mind. I'll go 42-17 because I think that Missouri will have a few fun plays, and Eli Drinkwitz has had a lot of time to get ready for this. But if you put this game on, 42-21. Yeah, 42-21. That's how I'm feeling. 42-21 is how I'm feeling. Zach, you want to close us down with any final thoughts? We really appreciate you being a part of the show. We're going to have you on again next week. We'll work out what day you're going to come join us, whether it be for a short time or a long time. We love having you. Call Strength Roofing and Siding at 205-858-9050. Zach, where are you playing? Oh, yeah, I love the background. Zach, are you playing any music in town this week? I know a lot of people aren't going up to Missouri. Are you playing anywhere that the folks can come see you?
No, dude. First time in a long time. I've got a weekend completely at home, so I'll be doing a lot of yard renovations. So a lot of landscaping this weekend. No, nothing major. But, yeah, I appreciate you having me, man. This has been fun. Hope I didn't put my foot in my mouth too much or say anything ridiculously stupid, but I'll basically give you my digital business card. You can scan that and have my contact information directly. I appreciate you letting me do that egregious self-promotion. So Man, it's been a lot of fun. I love talking ball, and being able to do it in this kind of platform is really exciting. So I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Oh, no problem. We appreciate you as well. Do you think your wife's going to have a black hoodie for you in your Christmas stocking or somewhere under the Christmas tree this year?
No, but I mean, there's a good chance I'll order it for myself and just say, "Hey, I got this for myself for Christmas," and she'll be like, "Okay, cool."
Sounds good. That sounds good. I think they're sold out in the campus bookstore. So the trend is trending.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can follow Mason Woods at MAWoods_ on the Twitter machine. Once again, find Zach Guffey at Strength Roofing and Siding. Call Strength Roofing and Siding at 205-858-9050. Anywhere in Alabama and Mississippi, they'll come take care of you guys. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel, which I know you are, you can scan the QR code right there underneath my face where Zach's beautiful face is and get his contact information. He'd love to come check out your roof today. We're going to keep it up with Strength Roofing and Siding, and we are going to cover this Alabama-Missouri game. We'll be all over it at BamaCentral.com. Hunter Cyber, Will Miller, and Katie Windham are in the car right now driving up to Columbia, as you are as well. So we'll talk to you again on Monday, win, lose, or draw. Remember, you can call us on the voicemail machine at 205-462-7340, extension 800, if you want to leave your reaction to Alabama's win or loss. What'd you like? What'd you hate about the team this weekend? We'll talk to you on Monday right here on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central and BamaCentral.com.
Thanks for joining us on today's edition of the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. Keep up with Joe on all his social media pages at Joe Gaither6. Subscribe, rate, and review the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and be sure to read us daily at BamaCentral.com.